of July 2020. And please, guys, our videos are now available on our Instagram account. Our videos are now available also on our Insta, our Facebook. So just go on our Instagram, just go on our Facebook. My videos are up on Insta and Facebook. Just go there, comment, talk to us, and also share. Let's share our videos by Instagram. So yesterday, we saw some pictures of Mapurisa Ajman nurses. If you follow Live with Prince M, you know that for weeks I've been talking about this issue. Yema nurses and doctors strike and the Kuparenyatwa. But you know what? We want money to be increased. Money that provides the shoma. I talked about this so many times. Also, there's some nurses also Mpilo Hospital in Bulawayo who are also protesting again. They want marriage zero. Manesi cannot live ni marriage warupua na urumende. Although urumende ka promise ma $75 marriage zia sati zapinda. Sati deliver urumende. And Minister of Finance, Mutuli Ngube, promised 50% increase plus $75 into the FCI accounts. Bank comply, you know what? We're gonna open my FCI accounts in my civil servants for free, but you're gonna have to pay my bank charges and it. So, Marizozo, I started Zapinda. So my nurses are still on strike. So yesterday we saw Mapurisa Ajmanisa nurse. Of course, kuti kana Zimbabwe kana maka protester. We all know kuti Mapurisa panosvika. Sometimes vanobosvika vombokutaurira kuti akomana dispensa. Vanokupay time yekudispensa. Kana makasa dispensa for some time. But sometimes but again, many people were not asking yesterday, okay, if Mapurisa Bargurua Manis, you are Mapurisa Mari, how much are these guys earning? Because Mapurisa, my nurses, my doctors, my soldier, they are all 4 under civil servants. How much these guys are earning? Guys, this is one of those situations that we need to talk about. This is one of those situations that as Zimbabweans we have to look at. Like, right, right now, if you involve yourself in an accident, you cannot go to Parenyatwa because hakuna manes, hakuna ma doctors. People were blaming Tintin. Zokufamba ne shamwari yake ngafa engeri motikari mu taxi. That is why ambulance is nakuya, because hakuna. And did she tell you kuti pakasvika ku Parenyatwa vakatombogara 40 minutes chituna chiri motikari? Come on, guys. This kind of situations affects us. It affects us. In fact, it affects us as the public. Nyanya isusu vasina mari, the vulnerable ones. So kana pasina ma nurses, pasina ma doctors Parenyatwa. Are people be able to afford to go in the private hospital? How many can afford to go in the doctor avenues over? How many? And the government is not saying anything about it, except yesterday vakatumira mapurisa kuti vadispense vanhu, which means kuti zvoni their grievances zvinhu zvavari kuchemera havasi kutombozvipuhwa. They are not going to be getting anything from the government unless those 75 years avakapromiswa kunzi vataiswa muaccounts mavo. But then the question is, when is the money going to be reflecting in their accounts? Is this the money enough? Then we look again on the other side, whereby inflation is still going up. Bond rate hachatenga. That 50% will remain here. By the time pachapinda that 50% you inenge start tengeching. You see, so this is some of the issues that I just thought, you know what, the guys, I've been following this story since since my next name and doctor is Tanga. So it would be okay for me to come here and to talk about this, because these are some of the things that it should be trending. These are some of the things that we as social media people, like my YouTubers, we should be actually be addressing. We should be actually be talking about these issues, because it affects us directly.
We were in the court with the 11 nurses that were detained by the police overnight, and they've been taken to court today, this afternoon. And their charges is they said they have violated the COVID-19 regulations, and they were given a bail of 1,000 RTGS each for the case, and they were ordered to report once every week at the nearest police station. We actually not happy. We feel this is an unfortunate event where when the workers demanded a living wage, they end up in police custody, in police cells, and eventually at the courts. This is not democracy. This is not what we expect. We expect government to address the issues of the nurses amicably. These nurses were having their update, their meeting at ZIMBABWE Central Hospital, and it's unfortunately the CEO decided to call the police and arrest the workers that they work with, and this event have triggered a wave of demonstrations among the health workers. Today, there was a demonstration at Barrenyatwa group of hospital, where all health workers, including the nurse managers who were still giving a skeleton services, who were still giving, covering the emergencies in the hospitals, they have down tools in solidarity with the arrested nurses. We also have seen the doctors, the senior doctors have joined the industrial action due to this provocation. To us, as professions, we feel this is clear provocation of democracy, clear provocation of unionism. We need, government has to promote democracy, has to promote unionism in this country. The Constitution of Zimbabwe has to be respected by all arms of government. And we feel it was violated, which is unfortunate. And we now urge government to urgently address the issue of the nurses, because the moment that we are going to not address these issues, and that we are going to have more and more of our health workers joining the industrial action, we are going to see a lot of Zimbabwean being stranded, a lot of Zimbabwean dying in hospitals without any help. And I don't think that's what the president wants in this country. We are in the middle of COVID-19 pandemic, where we expect the health workers to be respected. We expect the health workers in other countries right now as we speak. All the citizens are celebrating their heroes who are the health workers. But in Zimbabwe, we are seeing the health workers who are the frontliners being arrested, which is totally opposite of what is happening in other countries. And what was promised by government? Today we have seen some of our members receiving 50% that was being talked about by government. And that 50% was translated, it was on average 1,200 RTGs. 1,200 RTGs, you cannot even buy 10 years today in the black market with the 1,200 RTGs. And can we really go on top of a hill and say we have increased the health workers with the 10 years when they were getting less than 30 years, and that
inflation is about 800% right now. So if you're going to give a raise, it should at least be above 800%. And you have to give them at least 1,000% increase if it's going to make a dent in their day-to-day living. We all know that's the problem. We all know what we're faced with. It's the government that doesn't care. But then the people should care. If the government doesn't care, at least the people should care. Now, what we're faced with here on social media, it's ridiculous. When social media had less people on it, it was a better platform. Because you people, especially in diaspora nowadays, and I'm talking to a lot of South Africans, not even South Africans, there's Zimbabweans in South Africa. Most of the Zimbabweans in South Africa, you're abusing internet and illegal. Gossip and entertainment is taking over. I think, ZANU-PF is spending more money on disinformation. And I'm seeing agents popping up everywhere. As far as I'm concerned, if you had been gone from the internet and you're coming back to the internet, yet the only thing you're talking about is gossip. I'm not even going to name names. Not on my channel. I don't have time for those kind of people on my channel. It should be self-evident. You shouldn't have a guy like me coming out every time trying to tell you what the important issues are. These are the signs of the times. One, if you cannot speak up for nurses in Zimbabwe, if you cannot fight for nurses in Zimbabwe, if you cannot speak out for the nurses in Zimbabwe, as a Zimbabwean, let alone you're not going out there and demonstrating and supporting the nurses. 13 nurses get arrested. It's undemocratic. You people, Warim Zimbabwe, this is your fight. And there you go. Panobuda manesi demonstrate. When the healthcare system goes, your health is your wealth, number one. Millions bangani in banks. When you are sick, you are sick. And these are the people who help you when you are sick. Now, you find with my doctors, they're not coming out to protest. This is the dynamics of it. You see, doctors have got their own private surgeries that they run. And when the system collapses, the healthcare system collapses, those who can afford it, those who got US dollars, they get treatment in private hospitals, private clinics. So it benefits the doctors. Doctors will be at home chilling. They wait for the call. The call comes in. Want to talk about Veta? Does this person have money? Yeah, animal user okay. And then they come out to give you treatment. So if you let the public system collapse, you're only going to be left with the private sector. If the middle class was functioning, there would be no problem having a public sector, a private sector. You see, it's disgraceful. Samnoita maZimbabwe. Nonyanzisa. Kwamunoungana chaicho kwazinorowa matumbu ndokwazinomhanyira. As the saying goes. Kwazinorowa matumbu ndokwazinomhanyira. What does that actually even mean? Because what I mean, my socialites, you don't know these things, you don't know these sayings. What do they mean? On. Perhaps I take for granted my age right now. Ndakura. And you are fun and you don't know what's going on. Perhaps you want to stay out of politics and you don't want to be involved. The reason you can't marry right now, the reason you can't go out on a date, the reason you're embarrassed to be who you are right now is because of politics. If it is difficult for me, an originally proud person, to be proud of what's going on in Zimbabwe, how about you? Wagara, we all in my problems is self-esteem. It's an insult to give nurses this amount number bond notes. Before the bond note was introduced, I gave two scenarios. You can go back on my YouTube pages and find out 3-4 years ago. Ndakapa my predictions. And exactly how it is. I explained to you what fiat money is. What money is. Of which I told you fiat money is not actual money. It's a currency system. And I also tried to explain to you the difference between currency and money. Now, the only person who seems to be on par with me right now is Dr. Clarence, TV7 Live. Of which Dr. Clarence, TV7 Live, I know, woman, that's the problem with you. You need to perhaps get out of Zimbabwe so that you can actually say what you want to say rather than speaking riddles. Because you don't feel safe where you are. Patriotic, fine. We are all patriotic even though we are outside of the country. If you've got something to say, you're not being productive within the country. You've got messages to say, you could do more research outside, give this information. If I had your viewership, I'll do more with it. Perhaps it's time to cultivate my own. Perhaps I need to start speaking out more, making videos more. But then, see, I don't feel the need to do this on a day-to-day basis. Because I actually feel you deserve what is coming to you, my Zimbabwe. That's what it is. Why? Because at the end of the day, I've got means and ways. do some things by internet, Mario Pin. I can share these things with you. I try to share some of these things with you. But for no money, it's costly. So it's really destructive. I'm not saying don't entertain yourself. But politics can be entertaining. Sending a mokapa ultimatum, no one ultimatum yangu ishibudirira. Don't be a purveyor of false hope. I was one of the people who was a proponent of this flag movement. But I also told you, Ivan Mawale is a CIA agent. You people hated me at that time. But I think you can see right now. Kuti MI military intelligence. We had been speaking about these issues. He came from Norway. He had an opportunity. He did not use that opportunity. There is the establishment that is there already. And then there is the not so obvious establishment that is there to protect the obvious establishment. And that is where most of you you see, it's not the two I for a reason. Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. And then you're gonna fall for the same trick twice. You are stupid. And then I don't suffer fools. That's the problem with me. You can go back to my YouTube videos. I plotted out all these agendas 5 years ago, 4 years ago, 3 years ago. When I still had the energy to. Sweden is a very small country. We've got almost the same population in Sweden as you have in Zimbabwe. But Sweden doesn't have as many resources as Zimbabwe has. But the one thing that Sweden doesn't have is corruption. A country of 17 million, like Zimbabwe, is a city in most countries. You've got cities with larger populations than that country. Mismanagement up to the hills. Politics is the game in Zimbabwe. Fuck all politicians in Zimbabwe, including Chamisa. I'll tell you why. Hapana rutora sense izvinezvi in Zimbabwe. Hapana rutora sense in Zimbabwe. Izvinezvi. Except me. I am the first to call for an armed struggle. Why? I try to tell you, it's not about war. It's about protecting yourself. Simple. You're not targeted by criminals because you've got dogs in your yard. They think twice before they come to your yard. Who do criminals target? People that they know are not there. People they know, this is a single mom who stays there. It's good. No men in the house, no dogs in the house, no security. She travels to South Africa 3 weeks out of every month. I don't see a house girl, Pamba. She comes back, the house is robbed. You are living in hunger. Hunger drives you to do things that are unnatural sometimes. If you cannot control your own hunger. You cannot use the same systems that created the problem to solve the problem. You cannot use the same people who are the problem to solve the problem. That is called practicing futility. Why don't you try and bring about the scientific method? Not scientific consensus, the method. Systems thinking, ecology, food web, food cycle. We have to deal with principles. These men are unprincipled. True leaders cannot be scientifically quantified. There is what is called the X factor. Always, when you deal with probability and outcomes, nothing is 100% absolute. It's always 99.9%. But there is something that is absolute. You are going to die. There are two absolutes in this world. Only two. That boils down to one, which is life. Life is absolute. You are born into it and you will die. Time can be a cursing, a gift, or a commodity, however you want to play it out. As time manifests, some are in heaven, some are in hell. We need systems thinking. We do not need to approach people. You need to approach systems. Kudara taitaura kuti system yako iyi haina kunaka. Because we understood kuti everything is systemic. You see, when it's raining, you dress appropriately. When it's cold, you dress appropriately. We are dealing with systems, so we need systems thinking in order to eradicate other systems. What is freedom? What is liberty? What is justice? What is truth? Corruption is a system. Racism is a system. White supremacy is a system. Black inferiority is a system. Education is a system. Now, when you are adept to systems thinking, you marry all these systems together. Our problem in Zimbabwe is a simple one. We have a system in place that seeks to protect itself. How? Through law, rules, regulations. We have a system that uses propaganda You see, for me, it's very simple. Confront your fears. If you're afraid of dying, you will never live. If you're afraid of living, you will die. Fear is a system. You see, the way this one was done, out of these ones, it stands out, doesn't it? Because it's almost like code. That's the way the computer reads it, like code. It's code. Like if you know what barcodes are, or if you know what those are the codes, the so the computer has a very hard time with that information. It is supposed to decode all kinds of information. The rest can be quantified, but not the thought pattern in that one. Priceless works. Would you agree? It's not about what they fetch, it's about what they bring. Sounds the same thing, isn't it? Fetching and bringing. It's not about what they fetch, it's about what they bring. So can we look at our leaders in the same way? Say it's not what they fetch, it's what they bring. In Zimbabwe, we have a system of fear. Through indoctrination, through the education, there are those who propose to be better than we are because of their education. They are certified board members of certain clubs, elite. They bring about useless words that capture the imagination of useless people. We've become a cult. Robert Mugabe was a cult figure, damn near a demigod to most of you, untouchable to most of you. There is a club in Zimbabwe, across the world, there is a system in Zimbabwe and across the world. You see, I always used to say this. I don't have a problem with the creator. I have a problem with people who say they speak for the creator. To me, the place I'm at, perhaps for you to understand, is where I can consolidate all things. I can quantify all things, understand all things. But I'm still vexed at the end of the day because of my faith in the Most High Creator. Are you the orchestrator of this confusion, this madness? Are you the author of this evil? When I see good things, this is perhaps too high of a philosophical question. But for me to understand and to understand, I have to go within the train of thought, you see, because I have left the world of man. And I had left the world of man a long time ago. To be brought back to these insignificances, to me, is shallow, unworthy of my time, unworthy of my attention, but somehow still predominant. If I have reason as one, above all things, hate, conceit, deceit, if I have put away all evil things behind it, I wish not to judge other men, rather the other men judge themselves. I would never want you to walk a mile in my shoes. Those who have had the opportunity, few and far between, speak for us. Many are called, few are chosen. Where are you, Jehovah, the creator of all things? Am I being too harsh when I say the world is in a mess? That man can walk around today and say you don't believe in God. There cannot be a God, not a God of love. I can pretend from time to time to understand that everything is done for a reason, and that the reason is truly justified in the end after all these things, that there will be. Why should there be what was, never was? Why should we have a better tomorrow and not a better today, and not a better yesterday? If I'm being honest, in this moment in time, I despise the Creator. I despise the one who has all power, all authority over everything. It becomes, to me, an illusion of an all knowing, ever present, I hate suffering in all its forms, in all its ways. I hate having to go through the hardship and the pain. I don't want faith. I want answers. I get this overwhelming feeling that we are on our own. There is no help from beyond.